Welcome to the National Campus Team. I'm going to walk you through some of the different tools that we use on My Athletes in Action to help us with strategic planning and with local level coaching. So this is what you see on My Athletes in Action when you first log in. On the left-hand side, there's the campus dropdown on this bar menu here. You're going to see a bunch of different options here. And you should be able to see all of these except for the Sport Link section right here. So when you click on Dashboard, this is the one we'll spend the most time on right now. You're going to get a filter with dates and a scope, as well as these 6 main widgets. Now, the filter will automatically filter based on your role, either for your region, if you're a regional director, or if you're in a national role, it'll filter nationally. The default start dates are from 9/1, so starting beginning of the fiscal year, and going to whatever today is the default date for this. And so then there's the 6 major categories, which Steve likes to coach the team in measuring. And that's campuses, sending, evangelism, oneness, disciples, and opportunities. So you can notice that each one of these has expansion arrows, which means you can get more information about each topic rather than just the information displayed right here. And what you're seeing right now, except for the evangelism categories, you're seeing the current reality of the year versus the goal that was set for the year. And so we can see red numbers and we can see green numbers, and there's actually yellow numbers too. So if you're hitting your goal, your number is going to show up as green. If you are not hitting your goal, your number will show up as red. And if you're just barely missing your goal, it's going to show up as yellow. So let's go in and I'm going to expand campuses. So when I expand this, notice the rest of those disappear, and each of these is replaced by something about campuses. So here we have total campuses in the 3 different categories of staff, Sport Link, and Crew Connect. And then we have new campuses, lost campuses, broken down by the same amounts. And then we have scope. And so we can see that there's 2,200 campuses that don't have AI ministry and 215 that do. And then that 215 also matches this number right here at the bottom of this widget. So you don't actually have to expand the widget to figure out how many campuses we're on. And the 4th one is stages of movement. And so for this one, it'll give you the number in each category, but it'll also allow you to click on this tab right here, where if we say, I want to know the schools that are launched. So if I click on the launch thing and then I scroll down, it's going to give me all the schools that are at a launch movement stage. So, and so each of those widgets have different amounts of information. So sending has some graphs showing trends over the last couple of years by month and different things like that. And so you can explore those further once you get on. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll walk you through that. And so these goals that I was talking about, the ones that show up in blue, actually come from this regional goals, which was going to be soon renamed to just goals because we're going to open up access to the local team leaders. Now, you can see each of these has a text box where you can change the goal. And this is what shows up in those different categories. So sending conversations shows up as the sending goal. Globally mobilized shows up in the opportunities tab. And so you can see a couple different things. So let's look at Great Lakes here. We can see that Great Lakes has goals set in most of these categories, all the ones that we've required from the regional level. And then you see local team totals. And so 2 years ago when we did the KSO goal survey, we imported everybody's answers onto my AIA, populated their goals. So that you see when you press this plus right here, you see all these teams listed. So 937, Ball State, Miami, and all of their goals that they inputted. are listed here, and then it sums them up. And then so the oneness percentage is actually an average percentage based on average of the region, which is why it's got all of those sixes coming off the back end there. So if you ever modify a goal, so it's like Indiana University, we'll just retype 15 in there. It's going to show you by highlighting the outside of the box in green, like you change something, and then you would need to press save. And so when you press save, it'll refresh the page, and the green box will disappear, which will confirm that your goal is saved. So then there's the year goal report, and so we use this a lot of times when we bring staff together in person. I'm not going to click on that right now, but you guys can investigate that. And so that'll give kind of a summary of this document, but just by region. And so each region has its own report, and it'll list goals by team through there. So, and then there's the choose a view, because KSO goals are asked for in 2-year sets. You can see that if you select 2017, the goals change from what they were in 2016. And so you can look at 2 sets of goals. So, so I've been talking a little bit about some reports right here that you can get. There's actually a reports tab. And so if you're looking for a different report, it can be in here. Best place to find reports, though, actually, when you go back to the dashboard, you notice there's a report icon on most of the widgets. So it says view the report. So some reports are on this page right here, like opportunities and campuses. And then when we expand campuses, we can see total campus report, new campus report, things like that. So, next, we're going to do school details. This is actually kind of one of the big pieces. So it's key measurements is one big input piece. School details is our other big input piece for these tools. So we can really look up any school. So if we look up Michigan, it's going to autocomplete for you. And so you just choose which school that you're meaning. So if we click University of Michigan, so it's going to tell us the address, the school name, the scope that it's assigned to. So you remember back when on the dashboard when we were talking about how it can filter to scope, so you can filter actually to individual teams. And so the way it knows to filter different teams, it'll include those different schools and the staff that are assigned to those schools. And so it's tied a little bit in with the HR database. You can also record the number of ethnic minorities that are involved in the entire athletic department to help set your goal for oneness, whether it's an HBCU or Christian university. So some of the key pieces of information are going to happen over here, though. That the address helps place the school on a map on GoAIA so that everybody can view it, but that indicating the staff type and the campus director are actually pretty crucial. So if you want staff to actually be able to find out who's there in order to contact them, or if you want students or parents to be able to find out where AI movements are, this is how that happens. Is so that when a staff type is selected, so that's staff, crew, or sport link, then you select a point person, basically, and their contact information shows up. So when it's staffed, it just it's an autocomplete of a staff list. And so it automatically populates the AI email address of the director. And so that'll be attached with the location when somebody searches that school on our website. Crew, it's the same thing. You actually just add a crew staff member's first, last name, and email address. And they can find it there. And then SportLink kind of works the same way with the coaches and the SportLink reps. So, and this is the way you can add schools. So if you find out of a new school that's Crew Connect, then you can add them, or you can help add different schools to a team scope and things like that. So, um, yeah, this is a great place to come and update. There's also these additional tabs. So history, this tells you that the director changed from Bruce to Colby in 2012. That the movement stage moved up to ministering in 2013. And then it went from multiplying down to ministering, and then it says ministering again. And so when it says AI system, that means it's been populated through key measurements. Um, if it's not, then you can go to something like, if we go to Wilmington College here in Ohio. Well, it doesn't have anything like that. But you can do other things, like other than just system updates from key measurements. So you can add in, so I said last May, I said the leadership team that we graduated are only female leader. And, this is the update on the school. So then there's nearby schools. And so this will plot schools that are nearby your location. And then staff. So these are the different staff that are working there. And so you can add, even though I'm the director at this school, Tyler and Emily also do ministry there with me. And so if people are wondering, hey, who else is there? This is how they find out if it's been updated. So not everybody updates this. So then relationships. This is a list of people who have participated in AI events. And so we can see all the way back 2005, 2008, 2011, different people who have done different stuff with AIA. And so we see the recent, like 2017, we had some guys go to Winter Retreat. So you can see more people who are doing different things. So if you ever try and launch a new campus, you can check this out and see if anybody from that school has gone. SCRC involvement. This is more meant for schools that are local to the headquarters, and so it records any teams that come and participate and do stuff at our facility, so that there can be relationships with those coaches or things like that. So we can see lots of soccer and softball, baseball, stuff like that. So and then there's a report. You can get your school sending history, which is similar to this relationships tab. So, yeah. And then the last one is LTL Scope Manager. We're working on permissions to make sure everybody can see this. But it allows you to search basically a radius around any city or zip code. And it'll let you know all the different schools. So we'll do something crazy like New York City. New York. So 25 miles from city center of New York City, we get a lot of schools, 64 within 25 miles. And then it'll plot them all for you. And so we zoom in here, you notice there's two different colors of pins. So the key is right here. So the yellow ones means that it's assigned to a team. So if we click on that, so Stevens Institute of Technology, then we can scroll down. This is alphabetical to Stevens Institute of Technology. And we can actually click on that, and that'll pull us back to school details, and that'll tell us that it's a staffed campus. It's run by Tyler Stowell, and it's at a launch stage. But the rest of those that were all green on that map were ones that are not listed in the database, which means they show up here when we look for them because we have access to that whole list of 2,400 schools. But it's not going to show up on our external website because we don't have ministry there. So, and you can also, if there's two teams that are looking at the same area, like we have 2 teams in the Columbus area, and we may have 2 teams in Chicago pretty soon, or we may have 3 teams actually near Chicago pretty soon. But so you could search different areas, 2 different zip codes in Columbus, and then search the radiuses around them, and then that kind of creates a diagram almost for um, 2 teams to have a conversation about who's going after what. So yeah, so that's pretty much all the tools that we use. They're campus specific. So if you have any questions, I can walk through you guys with more details one-on-one as you begin to use this and use this to talk to your direct reports.